So Finland won the Hockey World Championship last night, which is pretty incredible, especially considering the team we had in the tournament. No star players from the NHL and 18 guys to whom this was their first time in the national team. Every time Finland wins the championship, and it has happened twice before, we have this thing called torille, which means that we gather to the nearest town square to celebrate, get undressed and swim in the fountains. So right now I'm here at the biggest square in the heart of Guangzhou, but there's no one here. So apparently not a big deal here in China. Oh, fine. Quick intro and then we talk a little bit more about sports. This is episode 30. Boston Bruins are in the Stanley Cup Finals, which is pretty damn amazing, but I think it's gonna be a close one. I'm pretty sure it will go to Game 7, which the Bruins will win in Boston, Massachusetts. But enough of that. We are right now in Shenzhen, as it's time for the annual Dragon Boat Festival. We arrived to Shenzhen a little bit late and all the Dragon Boat races were done and they were giving out the trophies for the winners. So Tia and I we spent the night there and now we're back in Guangzhou. We're in a taxi and we're going... Come on, we're in a taxi and we're going to Haizu district where there might still be some Dragon Boat racing going on. At least that's the hope. Okay, here we are at Haizu Wetland Park, and needless to say, there's nothing going on in here. It's a nice looking place though. Our last option to see at least some Dragon Boat racing this weekend is to go to Suchian Newtown and see if there's something going on in the Pearl River. Before we get there, here's some background what this festival is all about. Okay, the history behind this thing is pretty interesting. About 300 years before Christ, there was this statesman and minister called Zhu Yan. He was a wise and respected man who found himself in a sticky situation. He got falsely accused of conspiracy by the court officials and was eventually exiled by the king. During his exile, Zhu Yan wrote a great bunch of patriotic poems in which he addressed his anger towards the people who had betrayed him. In 278 BCE, on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month, Zhu Yan tied a stone to his chest and drowned himself into Milo River. People rushed to the river with their boats to save him, but couldn't find him. And this rushing to the river is thought to be the origin for the Dragon Boat races. People also started throwing rice into the river, some for the poet's party and some for the fishes, so they would leave him alone. They also started wrapping cooked rice into bamboo leaves, so it would sink a bit faster and find Zhu Yan's body. And still, over 2,000 years later, the 5th day of the 5th month is considered to be unlucky. Still, people prepare cooked rice wrapped in bamboo leaves, and still people race their dragon boats in the rivers. Alright. Before going to Suchian Newtown, Tia wanted to check out the other side of Haizu Wetland Park, and behold, there might be actually something going on in here. So let's go in and check it out. awfully quiet in here, considering they call this a festival. Tia, how much did you pay for the tickets?
20 yuan each.
Money well spent.
Good.
Well, I'm pretty sure this is the right spot where the festival took place, but once again Tia and I, we were late. So I guess what we're gonna do now is we forget about the festival and just spend a few more hours here and enjoy pretty beautiful high zoo wetland park. In the previous episode I visited Shenzhen and this one production company, and I promised to tell you more about it in this episode, but as usual I lied. I don't want to talk about it too much, not quite yet. The company was really impressive and they had lots of interesting projects going on, so something pretty cool might come out of that, but I will tell you more when the time is right, and that's not a lie, it's a promise. But there are some big decisions to be made pretty soon. It's June already, and Tia and I have been to China for about 11 months. Our initial plan was to come here, stay for a year, and then return to Finland. My brother's wedding is really close, so we are flying to Finland in about 2 weeks. But what happens after that? Do we come back to China? And if so, for how long? So stick around. Tell your mom and your best friend about this channel, and let's find out together what the future holds for Matti on Fire. See ya!